Hello everyone, how's it going? BigLT here. Welcome back to another food review. And today we are doing post strawberry and cream pebbles. And guess what? It's breakfast time for me right now. Which is very rare for me to actually have breakfast, but I wanted to have some breakfast. Just so you know, I don't know where I got this. Probably Walmart. Oh man, I can smell the strawberries. Holy cow. Let me take the bag out of the box so you guys can see the cereal. I'm also trying to look at it because I don't want to get too close. Whoops. Already making a mess. Is that normal when you have cereal? Also, I was out of milk, right? I go out to my local gas station, which is called Quick Trip. It's a regional place. For anybody that's new here, they don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, milk, a gallon of this, usually costs $3.39. Today, $1.99. What? Caught me off guard when I saw it. I was like, holy cow, that's the cheapest I've seen in I don't know how long. I could not stop I couldn't shut up about it on the way home. But it was like limit of 3, so obviously it cost me $6 to get milk, which isn't bad. Normally if I buy 3 gallons like that, it's like $10. So you guys can see it with the milk. That's delicious. You get a perfect balance of strawberry and cream in the cereal. And I'm not saying you get the balances with the milk. No. I think the vanilla colored Pebbles is the cream. And then obviously the reddish pink kind of looking ones are the strawberries. I don't know if I need to say anything else about it, but I'll tell you what. To make the video go a little longer, story time. So, I wake up this morning and I go on to Facebook, right? One of the first posts I've seen on Facebook was from Crunchyroll, the anime streaming site. They were talking about the 2025 Anime Awards and who won certain awards. I'm scrolling through a lot of them and I'm seeing like nothing I'm actually interested in. There was, I think ReZero was in there, but I can't remember what they won, and I haven't watched ReZero yet. I own it, I just haven't watched it. It wasn't until I got to the winner for the best slice of life, and I couldn't be any happier because it was Makin, Too Many Losing Heroines. And I got into that anime because of one character in particular whose name is Anna. Her name is Anna. She's a blue-haired girl. I only watched 2 episodes before this award thing happened, and it was so good. I'm actually a fan of the 3 heroines, Anna, Lemon, and Chica, because they're kind of like me in the sense of they can't get a boyfriend, whereas me, I can't get a girlfriend. And also, Chica is kind of shy and has a little bit of social anxiety, so she tends to communicate her own way. And that's kind of me too in a little bit, but I don't have like another method of communicating. I do have social anxiety, but it's not severe like hers is. And I am a little shy sometimes when around new people, or at least meeting new people in general too. Lemon, on the other hand, very athletic, likes to. She can run, and she's very good at like athletic type stuff in her school. And that's not me particularly. I'm not athletic, especially when I was in school. I was always one of the last people to actually get done with certain academics. Like I remember in school, we went to the bike trail and we had to do a mile-long run. I suck. I can't run a whole mile, let alone a quarter of a mile. I got tired pretty quickly and started walking because I got out of breath. And it's not like I was out of shape. I did a lot of walking back then when I was in high school. I even kind of do it a little bit of it today. You know, I'm kind of doing that on and off. I wasn't athletic, especially for how like thin I am or how thin I look. I don't have like you can tell here. I don't have the greatest muscle. You know, best muscle I have is like in my legs because that's where a lot of my walking is done. And I can. The hell is that? Oh, that's a pebble, but it looks like it's burnt. I'm just gonna pick it out just in case. Sorry, I saw a vanilla pebble here. It kind of had some black on it. I was kind of worried about it. No, it's fine. Just in case, that one too. But anyway, yeah, we also had like a weight room in our school too. Arm wise, I can only bench press the bar itself. I couldn't add any more weight to it. And I think they said the bar itself was about a good 45 pounds, maybe. It could be 35 or 25. But even I struggled with that bar a little bit from time to time. And then we had like a leg bencher like thing where you kind of lay back and then you have to like push it with your legs. That one, I actually had some extra weight on it. I think I had about like 50 or 60 on there at one point. And I was doing just fine with that. So yeah, my legs are slightly stronger than my actual arms. But my classmates, at least the guys, they can do over 200 on some of those. And I'm thinking to myself like, man, quit showing off for the girls. That's how I couldn't get a girlfriend at the time. Well, that and because a lot of the girls in my class were dating some of the jocks, you know, who went out for like things like football. Did you go out for any sports? Yes, golf for like 2 years. The second year was actually not the greatest, actually. Let's just say the coach actually benched me a lot and favored other students at the time. So my mom heard about it. She went straight to the school and demanded her money back, and she knew the guy apparently too. She apparently knew the guy. I don't know whatever happened to him. I think he got into trouble for what he did. I mean, that's another thing. My high school that I went to, small town, doesn't even have a golf course. Where did we go golfing? We went to a couple of towns over in a place called Adams. They have a golf course kind of out in the way. It's actually, you can actually find it by going between this town and the town I was that I went to school at. The school I went to was called Leroy Ostrander. I live in Austin. So to get to the golf course, at least from here, you'd have to go onto the interstate, and then they'll tell you there's a sign that says to take the exit to go to Leroy from there, which is only like a mile out of town. You go down the regular road. It's just a regular road. It's not even an interstate or a highway. It's just a regular old road. But it's a main road, so to speak. You take that, you go all the way to the first town, which is Rose Creek. You don't technically go through it completely. You kind of just go off around it on the side. And then you go down a bit ways more, and that's where you get to the golf course, to Adams. Now, you reach the golf course from here. You reach the golf course first before you even get into Adams. Then you go through Adams, and then you keep going. And then you come to like a really small town of like maybe 100, 200, called Teope. It's one of those towns where it's like you go through it in at least a second. There's nothing there. And especially now, because a couple of years ago, I was in Leroy visiting my friend Travis and Jordan. My friend Jordan actually says he was okay with actually being on this channel sometimes, so look forward to him. Was at my friend Travis's place with my friend Jordan. My friend Jordan doesn't live with him. He lives here in Austin. We were there. I was there one day, and we were, the three of us are in the upstairs area because that's where Travis sleeps, playing games and everything. Travis has like 3 TVs, one for each of us. We're in the middle of playing, and all of a sudden power cuts out, and we're like, the heck? And we go downstairs and everything, and there's like, kind of cuts out, power's going down and everything a little bit here and there. And we find out that we're in a tornado warning. And I was thinking to myself, like, I'm going outside. I need to see if I can see this tornado. I knew I wasn't going to see the tornado because A, it was dark out, so obviously it was nighttime. And B, it was, rain was covering it up pretty well too. So very, very unlikely I was actually going to see the tornado, especially up here. According to Jordan, up here, you'll never see a tornado. It's always wrapped in rain. Though I've heard reports of people in like Iowa and all that stuff seeing the tornado. I don't know. I'll wrap you soon. But anyway, as the storm is coming through, there was a tornado that actually went from the west of town straight up to the north of town. We go to bed later that night. Get up the next day. My friend Jordan and I are with Travis's mom. She's driving us back to Austin. At least she's driving me back to Austin. We take the road to Teope. And before we can even get to Teope, there's a road closed sign that says, hey, there's a detour to go this way, which takes you to Grand Meadow. So we had to take that detour, and we had to go around. We didn't understand why. It wasn't until later that day, and for me personally, it was a few days later. I get on Facebook and I found out Teope got directly hit by the tornado, completely destroyed. And I was thinking to myself, like, man, can you imagine what happened if that happened to us? If it actually hit Leroy at the time, that would have been sucky. So yeah, that's the story that I had to say. All right, you know what? I've talked about some stuff for a little long. Let me give a rating. I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 8. Not an 8 out of 10, but an 8.5 out of 10 is what I'm trying to say. 8.5 out of 10. Very good. Very strong strawberry and cream flavor. The milk really brings it out and everything. And of course, my cereal's getting soggy right now because I've been talking instead of eating. Regardless of the sogginess, I'm not counting that. I'm not docking points because of that. I don't know if there's anything I can think of that reason why I'm docking points. I do like it. I do like it, and I think if you guys never had this, you need to try it. Especially if you like strawberry stuff. I love strawberries. Well, I mean, I don't like the actual fruit, but I like the flavor of strawberry. The problem is, I can't have strawberry soda. My stomach doesn't like the acid or whatever that's in strawberry soda. It makes me want to throw up, But it doesn't mean I can't have soda. Obviously, I can have root beer. I can have grape soda. I can have orange soda. I just can't have strawberry. sucks because strawberry was my favorite for a while growing up. If you don't count the fact that grape is my favorite, orange is pretty good, and root beer is delicious if it's Dad's root beer. A&W is okay. Mug's alright. Barks is okay. 1919 is expensive. Let's be honest. I can't think of any other root beers besides that. I brought up the major ones anyway. But anyway, thanks so much for watching this food review. Of course, I've been BigLT, and I'll see you guys next time for another food review. You have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.